ENCA's Malungelo Boy has been tracking that story and joins us now from our newsroom. So Malungelo, you brought us this story about a month ago, and it seemed at that particular point the government employees' medical scheme had certain difficulties paying for this particular cancer treatment, but it seems they've done an about turn.
That's right, Tulasizwa. Perhaps let's take you back. In 2016, Dr. Sipho Vuma was diagnosed with cancer. It had started on his right kidney and spread to his abdomen and also brain. He had been battling to get gems to pay for his life-saving treatment. He actually even took the medical scheme to court, and the court agreed that GEMS must pay for that treatment. However, GEMS appealed that decision, and the initial decision was then set aside. And GEMS went back to the drawing board, really, and re-looked at their initial decision of not granting Dr. Vuma's wish, really, to get the Keytruda treatment. I mean, Tulasizwa, one of the things, Tulasizwa, they had said why they actually refused to grant him to pay for that medication, it was because that it's not registered in the country for Dr. Vuma's condition. But also, they also said, though, Tulasizwa, when they reviewed this decision, it was based on urgent ex gratia process. Now, I tried to look as to exactly what does that mean. Well, it means it's something that's done from a sense of moral obligation than anything else.
Interesting that it took, some of the exposure that came with the publicity to this particular case for them to come to that position of an ex gratia approach to settling this matter. Have you been able to interact with the doctor? I mean, when you spoke to him at the time, his sense was that GEMS, the government employees' medical scheme, was not paying because 500,000 rand, which is what this medication was going to cost, was simply too much. And there was a very powerful quote where he said, "They are letting me die."
That's right, Tulasizwa. In fact, he has started his Keytruda treatment. In fact, I interacted with him today and asked him how he feels about being on this life-saving medication. Let's take a listen.
I'm very happy. No more symptoms, no more vomiting, headache, confusion, dizziness. I'm just fine.
Did you think that you were going to be like this?
Honestly, no. I thought that was it. I thought that was curtains for me.
Tulas, 1 in 4 people in South Africa is diagnosed with cancer every day or knows somebody who has cancer in this country. But obviously, at the end of the year, annually, there's about 100,000 people that are diagnosed with cancer in this country. I asked Dr. Vuma, what does this mean for him finally that he's got this medication? But what are his wishes for other cancer sufferers? And this is what he had to say to me.
I'm just hoping that other people who have got medical aid don't have to suffer like I suffered to get this treatment. And then also, I wish this thing can be extended to public hospitals so that even people without medical aid can benefit.
So, Malungelo, I guess many people watching this who interact with medical aid schemes will have their own views about how reliable it all is, this whole system really is. But you're saying that in the course of pursuing this story, you've also been interacting with authorities that look at the trends and as far as complaints about medical aid schemes.
That's right. In fact, the Council for Medical Aid Scheme had told me, Tulasizwa, that in fact in the past 10 years there had been an increase in complaints against medical aids, but in the last 3 years they're saying that that number has gone down.
Interesting. It's also quite interesting. It would have been interesting to know if this case would have gone any differently had there been no publicity given to Dr. Vuma's case in this particular instance. But nonetheless, we are happy that he is finally able to get on that key treatment for the cancer condition that he has.